As many of you know, fitness is really important to me, and I've been working with Phorm for a while now. And if you are looking for amazing results in your fitness goals, then go right now and check out the links in our show notes. Phorm has high quality and amazing tasting protein and all of the things that you need to really focus on your goals. Plus, you can come and join me working out in the app. It's like having a personal trainer, and you can also track your food and get amazing workouts while being in a supportive group. So if you have been wanting to get in shape or just feel better, go and click on our links right now. Using them also supports us.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi guys, I'm Marie.
And I'm Maddie.
And we are here recording Lost in the Woods. And today we are going to be covering another case that kind of got lost in the shuffle of another case that we've covered. Actually, two other cases that we've covered. So we have covered multiple cases that were not necessarily affected by the Gabby Petito case, but were maybe
Debatable,
lost in the
honestly.
shuffle. This particular person, though, was actually a suspect only on social media in the murder cases, the two that we covered.
The girl, the couple.
The two girls, yeah. Now, our case today, we're going to start with May 22 of 2023. So very recent this year, right? A video is posted by a TikTok user, and I think it's Rye of the Desert, is what the username is. And in like many of his videos, he's walking through the Utah desert while researching an archaeological site and documenting his progress. And actually, the video is really long and it's kind of boring, but whatever. I guess if that's your thing, that's your thing. Now, it shows him walking for a while, and then he spots something strange on the ground ahead of him.
What is this? What? Talk about random shit. I don't even know what to think. What the hell? There's another backpack down there. What's this over here? Clothes. Blankets. Oh, that's creepy.
And as he pans the camera over, you see a discarded backpack. And if we've learned anything, finding a backpack without a backpacker is probably not a good sign, right? So there's a backpack. And then laying on the ground not far from the backpack is a guitar, and it's just laying out in the open. And then he starts to see more items on the ground down a shallow ravine or a dried creek bed, whatever we're going to call it. There's a second backpack, and there's also some half-buried clothes or blankets or something like that a few steps away from the second backpack. And he's understandably a little creeped out by this, and he starts checking out the backpack and discovers that it still has items inside it. So this is not like an empty, abandoned backpack. There is stuff in the backpack. And then at this point, the video ends and he does promise an update. And as you can imagine, people online went a little crazy.
So there were numerous TikToks on the video telling him to...
Comments.
What'd I say?
TikToks. You said there were numerous TikToks on the...
I thought I said there were numerous comments on the TikTok.
Oh, you said it backwards.
Oh, so there were numerous comments on the video telling him to contact police and not touch anything, and that he was potentially disturbing a crime scene.
Which is true, but we found an abandoned backpack one time when we were in California, and we did check the backpack because if there's something in it that identifies somebody or somebody that might be missing or something that might be wrong, what did we find? We found like a soda,
A Fanta.
and there was like some clothing in there or something.
Some kind of jacket maybe or shirt or
Right.
some shit
But it was
like that.
pretty empty. And we were like, this is so weird.
Turns out it was a guy showing some people through a cavern.
Right. Which we did go into as well.
Yeah, but he put he stashed his backpack at the end.
Because you can't really go through this cavern with a backpack on.
Yeah.
Like it's really tight and there's a lot of spaces that are hard to get in and out of. So sometimes an abandoned backpack is just I'm going to leave it here while I go summit or while I do this or while I do that.
Yeah.
So if I found a backpack in the desert or on a hike, I would probably check it as well
I'm touching it and
to try to identify if somebody's in distress or if I need to be looking for somebody or something. Maybe.
probably.
I mean,
I'd probably touch it too.
well, we've literally been in that situation and we definitely touched it. So we already know what we would do.
Yeah.
We're touching the backpack.
It wasn't a backpacking backpack though. It was like a regular backpack. It was like definitely an outdoorsy backpack, but not a backpack.
This one was kind of a regular backpack too.
okay.
Yeah.
Which is honestly more concerning.
A
especially when
backpacking
you're
backpack, I would think. So if it was a backpacking backpack, I would think somebody's summiting somewhere. Somebody's either off the trail using the bathroom or they set their bag down to go summit and then they're coming back for it.
Why would you take your backpack off? to,
Most
like-
people take their backpack off to use the bathroom.
Really?
I know we don't because we're fucking lazy.
I'll
I'm
like actually use it to my advantage and like lean up
Yeah.
against the tree with my backpack. I like use it to help myself out.
So now that you know, Maddie and I don't take our backpacks off when we go to the bathroom. Gross. Too much information, I'm sure.
I'm just squatting in the woods.
I know. Well, it's a lot of work to take your backpack off. And if you're just going to pee really quick, it's like, what's the point? But yeah, I mean, most people I think take their backpacks off to use the bathroom. Let us know.
Do you take your backpack off?
So Ryan posted an update on the 29th of May, claiming that there had been a bit of a breakthrough, but ultimately he wasn't willing to share any more about the situation at the time. But he had connected with the authorities. The following weekend, he went out in the same area where he found a phone and a smartwatch, along with a couple of other small items. And in the video, he implies that he believes they are connected to the backpack and other items that he found. In a second update, he posted more images of items that he found in the first video, and he explained that within 48 hours of posting the initial video, he had been contacted by somebody who let him know that they believed the belongings that he discovered belonged to a family member of theirs who had gone missing a year and a half earlier. So he is contacted within 48 hours from a family saying, we think those items belong to our family member.
So, which actually, this isn't that crazy of something to happen on TikTok because, first of all, things like that happen all the time on TikTok with different things. And it doesn't matter if you're looking for someone, you can post on TikTok, and TikTok's probably going to find that person. Because if this family had their family members go missing in Utah, they're constantly looking at Utah. They're constantly doing things in Utah. Utah's going to be constantly on their For You page. So it's not that insane that this could get back to, like, this
might get back to them.
That this could be real.
Can you imagine, though, having your family member go missing and then a year and a half later,
you see some random
some random guy right in the desert or whatever who's not even like a searcher or anybody official who happens to come across something that you recognize? That would be so traumatic.
Literally crazy.
The family member who had gone missing is Timothy Jordan Boone, and we're going to call him Jordan because that's what he went by. And he is a resident of Salt Lake City, born May 14th, and he was 36 years old the last time that he was seen. He was known as a deeply empathetic soul, a talented writer, a musician, an artist, and a photographer. But
that is the best description I think I've seen about a missing person. That is personal. Whoever said that actually knew this man.
I believe this actually came from his sister. this description. I can't remember for sure, but I think that it was her Facebook that I saw this description.
I'm just so glad to hear a description without any of those cliches.
Like he lights up a room or had like the brightest smile or like,
something that's
Yeah, I
not
know.
real.
Now, Jordan did start showing signs of depression in his teenage years, and his mental health seemed to worsen in 2017 when his family moved to Australia. Now, the last time that Jordan had been seen, confirmed sighting of Jordan, was in a Verizon store in Moab, so Utah.
So on August 1st of 2021, Jordan, along with his dog Lily and his brother's dog Cooper, set off in Jordan's camper van from Salt Lake City and headed towards the San Rafael Swell, which is a wilderness area in Emery County, Utah. And this area attracts a lot of hikers, horseback riders, ATV enthusiasts because of its terrain, like desert, rocky,
Right. Mm-hmm.
outcroppings, cliffs, canyons, basically
All the fun stuff.
anything you would need to have an outdoor activity. So the San Rafael recreation area is also popular for people looking for historical sites
Yeah.
and
Petroglyphs? I don't know what that is.
petroglyph.
Yeah.
Petroglyph, like a hydroglyph, but
Is it
not
of pets though instead?
not. Is it just not
I don't-
Egyptian?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Petroglyphs. Look it up. Hold on.
I don't know. We're gonna seem real dumb
What's a
after this.
petro-
Probably.
we're
What
gonna
the fuck
be
is a
really-
petroglyph?
So a petroglyph is an image created by removing part of a rock surface for incising, picking, carving, or branding as a form of rock art.
So it's like
Oh, so it's like
native hieroglyphs. It's like Native Americans
Yes.
instead of,
Mhm. So
Okay.
it's like art depicted on rocks.
and it's chipped out of the rock instead of being
Right.
painted on the rock.
Right.
By what I presume to be Native Americans. I've seen this on TikTok. Actually, I've seen like this
Okay.
actual exact one on some YouTube.
It's actually kind of cool.
this YouTube
Yeah.
video.
Now, the weather in the area was hot with a high of 89 degrees Fahrenheit or 32 Celsius. But there were thunderstorms which were causing problems with flash flooding in the area. So this particular area does have a lot of flash floods, which we know can be very dangerous. Now, at the time of his camping trip, Jordan was unfortunately experiencing mania caused by bipolar disorder and had actually taken his brother's dog without permission.
Damn.
I would be a little mad about that, I think.
Did he go missing with the dog? Did the dog go
Both
missing?
dogs went missing
Were they
with
found?
him. We'll get there.
God, just ruin it for me.
Jordan's struggles with his mental health had seemed to increase after his move to Australia.
So it kind of seems like Jordan had moved back to the United States
Mm-hmm.
from Australia because of his depression. It was just too severe in Australia. That kind of seems like what I'm getting from all of
Yes.
this. That seems to be the reason he moved back to the US.
Yeah, well, and his sister does talk a lot about his mental health struggles on social media. And she does say that he experienced a bout of mania that led him to commit criminal offenses. And,
Taking his brother's dog.
well, yeah, I mean, there's one right there. But in 2018, Jordan experienced mania for the second time. This time, it was accompanied by psychosis. There's a fairly wide range of symptoms that you can experience with psychosis. And his sister goes on to talk about all the different things that he was kind of experiencing or could have been experiencing. So, like racing thoughts, excitement, excessive wordiness, delusions, all sorts of things, memory loss, restlessness. And she would say that a person with this condition usually isn't aware of his or her behavior.
No, they usually think it's completely real. Like the lady that saw the person change into the lizard person on the plane. Have you seen that
Right,
video?
yeah.
Everyone's like, it was demons, it was aliens, it was psychosis.
It was psychosis. Well, and she said that he believed if he got to California, he would be able to find a path to the other side of the world where his daughter lives. She's actually in Australia at this time. He was trying to send a signal to her, And he actually shot a flare gun 11 times, each one an arson charge against him, by the way. When those signals were unanswered, he lit a porta potty and garage can on fire. According to a police report, those fires did not extend further than the brush around them. And due to these charges, he was in jail for 6 months, and then he would be released and required to be a part of a mental health program for 1 year, and he would be on probation for 2 years. Now, in 2021, knowing that Jordan was going through a difficult period with his mental health, his family contacted the police to let them know that he would be in the area and if they could go and check on him. When police located Jordan's camper van, neither he nor the dogs were anywhere to be seen. So by 2021, his family is like, we think something's wrong. He's stolen a dog. Something's going on with him. Now, according to what police found when they did find his camper van, it appeared that it had become stuck, probably due to a flash flood. So presumably mud or water from the rains had prevented him from moving the van. So the van is stuck, but him and the dogs are gone. It's theorized that because the van was stuck, he took the dogs and everything that he could carry to go and search for help on foot or go and do something on foot. Some of the items that we know he took with him: 3 backpacks. Not sure why you need 3 backpacks. And that's just that we know of because only 3 have been recovered. The contents of the backpacks, there were some clothes, including a poncho, a blanket, a water bottle. We also know that he took a wetsuit with him. And we also know that he took the guitar that was customized by his daughter with him. So the family is kind of thinking that maybe he took the things from the van that were sentimental to him and maybe the wetsuit because they're expensive. I'm not really sure. Like maybe he didn't think he'd be returning to it.
No, he's going to the portal in California
Fuck.
to get to his daughter.
Now, you would think, okay, he's out in the desert with 3 backpacks, a wetsuit, and a guitar. He's missing. His van has been found. The dogs are missing. He's probably out there, right? That's what you'd be thinking. But on August 3rd, a couple of days later, a couple who were riding ATVs in the area found Jordan wandering through the desert, dehydrated and wearing a wetsuit. Now, I can't find anywhere about what other belongings he had on him, but he did have his dog Lily with him. But Cooper, his brother's dog, was not there. So a couple days after police find the van, right, stuck in the mud, a couple on ATVs comes across Jordan with one of the dogs and wearing a wetsuit. How strange would that be to be in the desert and find somebody wearing a wetsuit?
Your first thought is this man is on drugs or this man is literally
Something's
in
wrong,
psychosis.
right?
So the couple gave Jordan a ride from the remote area that they had found him in to Huntington, which is about 66 miles away, or roughly an hour drive. And this was so he could get checked on and checked out at the hospital. Like
right.
this,
So they
that's-
obviously knew that something was wrong.
Yeah,
right?
and at this point, the police caught up with Jordan and they contacted his family to let them know that they had located him. Due to the concerns about his well-being, Jordan's mother asked the police to not leave Jordan alone while the family organized a mental health evaluation. Unfortunately, the evaluation couldn't be scheduled until the following day, so the police officers got Jordan a hotel room, but had to return to work, leaving Jordan alone in the hotel. Due to a miscommunication, the family believed that Jordan's parole officer would be going to pick him up or making contact, but that didn't happen.
Right. And at this point, Jordan hasn't committed a crime, right? So he does have a parole officer because remember, he's on probation. But at this point, he's just been found wandering in the desert, dehydrated. This is probably not a high priority. So we don't even know how far away his parole officer is from where
Yeah.
Jordan is found at this point, right? We don't have a ton of information about what happens at this point, but we know that after a few hours, Jordan leaves the hotel room with Lily, the dog, and he goes to a nearby convenience store called BK's Stop and Shop. He has a brief conversation with the woman behind the counter who gave Lily some water before they exited the store. Roughly 300 yards away from the store, Jordan finds a garbage truck that is unlocked with the keys inside, and he steals it. And the family believes that at this point he was experiencing extreme paranoia due to his manic episode and believed that the government was out to get him. And they think that this might have been exasperated by his contact with law enforcement and possibly overhearing the police officer talking to his parole officer, like thinking that they were like conspiring or something.
Yeah. So he drove the garbage truck to Price, Utah, which is a 20-minute drive, where he abandoned it. And just, a Jeep Renegade would be stolen in the same area. And
Mm-hmm.
according to updates posted on the missing Jordan Boone Facebook page, a warrant would later be put out for Jordan's arrest. Stated that after some time, he pulled the stolen Jeep onto some private property to look for something in the glove box. He was confronted by the property owner. An altercation occurred, which, according to the affidavit, ended with Jordan hitting the property owner with the Jeep. The man was not seriously injured, though. It wasn't like he
Right.
ran him the fuck over or something.
But he kind of did hit him with the Jeep and then took off.
The property owner tries to pursue Jordan but could not catch up to him.
So imagine if Jordan is in like this state, right? This paranoia where he thinks that people are out to get him. And now he pulls over to look for something and he is confronted, right? And then that person chases him even after being hit by the car. He's probably freaking the fuck out by this point.
Yeah, like this is probably the worst case scenario for him, like the owner chasing after him.
Right. He probably isn't comprehending that he is the one on private property. He just knows he's being confronted.
The government is obvious, like, who knows what where he's going, where his paranoia is going at this point.
Right.
But him being chased after is just not going to be good for his mental in general. So from there, Jordan is next seen at the Verizon store in Moab, which is close to Thompson Springs, an area the family says has sentimental value to Jordan. So at the Verizon store, he tried to purchase a phone, but had no money, no ID, so he was denied a contract. And this is the last confirmed sighting of Jordan.
I wonder who he was going to try to call. Like, it's too bad they couldn't get him a phone at that point.
Yeah.
Authorities also believe that he stole some water from a structure in Thompson Springs. They found dog prints and red wing boot prints, which was the type of boot that Jordan had.
So the stolen Jeep was later found out of gas on the side of the highway at mile marker 21 in Cisco, Utah.
Yep.
While the family put out limited information on Facebook in the coming weeks after Jordan had vanished, there were reports of sightings of people who had seen him walking in a bunch of areas nearby, basically going from Utah into Colorado.
Right. But none of these are actually confirmed because we do know that he has no water, he has no food, he has no money. But there are sightings of him at least 162 miles from where the Jeep is found.
Yeah, which is a lot to do on foot.
But he could have gotten a ride. But we could find no confirmed sightings of people who had actually picked him up.
Does he still have his dog?
Yes, he still at this point has one of the dogs.
What happened to the other dog? Where's his brother's dog?
I know.
So his sister posted on Facebook in the hopes of educating people about what Jordan might have been going through. So psychosis can occur with bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, some types of dementia, and other conditions as well. The person thinking becomes disconnected or disassociated with reality, and a psychotic episode can involve hallucinations, delusions, confusion, and disturbing thoughts, a lack of insight and self-awareness.
Yeah.
The pattern of symptoms will vary between individuals according to the situation, In a study published in 2015, researchers noted that there is not just one type of psychosis, but different types, some which have more severe impacts than others.
Of course.
That makes sense. The scientists found that with different biomarkers in the brain seem to correlate with different types and severities of symptoms. This indicates that the different changes in the brain function and brain chemicals lead to different forms of psychosis. That's actually really interesting. These beliefs not only feel extremely real to the person experiencing them, but they can trigger feelings of extreme anger, sadness, or fear of persons. So, bipolar disorder shares some symptoms with schizophrenia, which there's actually lots of disorders that will. Psychosis very easily can mimic schizophrenia. So, just because you're having psychosis doesn't necessarily mean that you're schizophrenic.
Right.
But.
And everybody's brain handles these issues a little differently. But yeah, people can have visual and other hallucinations. They can see, hear, or maybe smell things that are not there, which would be terrifying.
So the person may be certain that something is true when it is not. They may believe that they are important, they have a contact to a higher place, they have a lot of money, or they're related to royalty when in fact they are not. Some people become afraid that someone is seeking to hurt them or others are working against them. The government is a huge one that's
huge
seen.
target for that. Yeah, for sure.
Well, because they are after you. It is real.
Obviously that's why that one's so common.
Well, because the government is after, like,
because
for
obviously
God's
the
sake.
government is after all of us.
Lots of confusion, rapid and constant thoughts, disjointed speech, rapid change in topics, and this person may forget what they're talking about, what's going on. Very, like, flipping back and forth is also something that can happen.
Well, and I imagine too that when an average person encounters somebody that may be in this kind of crisis, right? Like, I'm trying to think, like, if I was just walking into a store, or I'm just like an average citizen and I come across somebody who is all over the place, right? Like, they obviously are in some sort of distress. I might jump to the conclusion that they are on drugs or something like that. And I might feel like I have something to fear from them instead of the maybe this person needs help reaction.
Yeah,
you know what I
sure.
mean? Which his sister talks about a lot on Facebook, like wanting to educate people about this type of mental illness, because I think it is misunderstood a lot.
Oh, 100%.
Now, 3 weeks after Jordan left the San Rafael Swell area, Cooper, his brother's dog, was found alive, wandering around 30 minutes away from where Ryan had found Jordan's belongings. And he is returned to the family. So Cooper is okay. The brother's dog has been returned to the family.
The family also believes that this dog was separated because they don't think that he would purposely leave the dog behind. They think that the dog escaped him.
Right. Maybe got scared, maybe took off, something like that.
And especially a dog that's not your dog.
Right.
And who knows how you're acting in a psychosis that could scare a dog easy enough.
God. Now, according to the Facebook group, there has been no official updates or no new information other than the discovery of Jordan's belongings by Ryan since August of 2021. And the family has expressed their frustration that Jordan's case has not been taken more seriously. It has been suggested that due to his criminal history and mental illness that law enforcement has brushed the case off. And in fact, due to a clerical error, Jordan was not officially registered as a missing person until July 7 of 2022. So almost a year after he actually went missing.
Are you kidding me?
Which means if a police officer had contact with him and entered him into the system, they wouldn't have known that he was missing. They also believe that Jordan's case has been ignored by the media or overshadowed by the murders of Gabby Petito, Kylan Schultz, and Crystal Turner, which we covered Gabby Petito and Kylan and Crystal's case as well, because we heard about those.
Yeah, and I will agree that Gabby Petito's case did overshadow
a lot of people,
especially via social media. It is
it is what it is. Yeah.
We know, and it is really sad that there are, but it happens with cases and cases again. You know, the little girl that went missing in whatever
Yeah.
foreign country
Mhm.
with a different color. You know,
Yep.
Madeline
Madeline
McCain.
McCain.
There was another little kid that went missing, very close to where
Right.
Madeline
And
McCain
got
went missing.
zero coverage. Yeah.
In almost identical circumstances, almost identical.
Yeah.
But this wasn't a little white baby.
But you know what's also interesting about this case is if this Ryan TikTok guy hadn't found Jordan's belongings, and if that hadn't gone viral, I don't even think we'd be sitting here talking about him today.
Probably not.
Because he's just another missing person.
He's just another crazy person. He's just another mentally ill person. He's just another person to fall victim of their own destruction, their own mental destruction. Like, and that's how law enforcement's going to look at it.
Yeah.
They're
Now-
not.
Now, his name did come up a little bit during the murders of Kylan and Crystal, and that was because some speculated online that he could be a suspect in their murders because he went missing in the same area around the same time.
Okay. I can see why people would jump to this conclusion. I can, just because, you know, he's a crazy person out there. He's, you know, he's killing
Right.
people. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Even though we have no evidence that he has been violent besides him running over the property owner with his car.
Which,
With a stolen car.
He was in private property, so who knows how aggressive that man came up to him, honestly.
Right,
Like,
or
you know what I mean?
Or if it was on purpose or not, we don't know that
yeah,
either.
and whether or not
Right.
he scared him into.
But we have this man who is on the verge or in the throes of a psychotic break of some kind.
Yeah.
And then we also have
Murdered women.
murdered women in the near vicinity, and this guy's still missing. So I do see how that could come up, but law enforcement has stated that this is absolutely not the case, that he is not a suspect
Yeah, I don't.
and has never been.
No, I don't think so either. He sounds like he's too off the rails to have an organized murder on his hands.
Well, and the family has spoken out about these allegations, and they said that they are worried that this would make people less sympathetic to finding Jordan.
Yeah,
And I totally agree.
totally agree. I mean, we've seen the sympathy go out the window for multiple people after something happens, where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you're the murderer now? Fuck you. I don't give a shit that your girlfriend's missing, your wife
Yeah.
is missing. Like,
Oh,
you're
you're
the killer.
still, yeah. Or, yeah, exactly. Where the media or online can just like turn on
Persecutes.
somebody.
Oh, you
Yeah.
killed your baby. A dingo didn't eat your baby. You're too happy you're pregnant again? You obviously killed your fucking kid.
That whole story.
Like-
that one was crazy. We covered that one too. That was the where the dingo ate my baby saying came from, which Maddie and I had no idea where that had originally came from,
No,
but we
I
had
didn't-
both heard of it. Thanks Seinfeld for that. That's who started that.
Is it?
Yeah. Azaria Chamberlain, where she is literally prosecuted. She actually goes to jail for murdering her baby,
Yes.
which is just crazy. The whole story is crazy. We covered it back. It was quite a while ago that we covered that case. But
A
if you
dingo
haven't heard it,
will eat your baby.
well, and I think that another case happened not far from there.
So it actually, what it was the only reason that she even, like, people were like, wow, your baby was eaten by a dingo, is because a dingo had climbed up onto one of those, you know,
Like
the
a
truck
camper,
campers, like the
yeah.
tent that's on the back of the truck. He had climbed up into one of those, unzipped the tent, and tried to take a 4-year-old
well, didn't try. Did take drug the 4-year-old away
by
from
its
the car.
head out
Which
of
everybody had said, oh, a dingo can't open its mouth that big. There's no
To
way
take
it
a-
killed a baby.
to take a newborn baby. Like, this
Right.
baby was only a few, like 4 or 5 months old or some
months.
shit like that.
It was months, whatever it was.
And then
yeah.
it goes and takes this 4-year-old out, and the only reason that it was like, they was literally taking it out.
It was
and
dragging it when the parents
had grabbed it, and they ended up like wrestling this dingo for their baby, like playing fucking tug of war with a kid.
Yeah, and he had the gnarliest
Gash marks on his head.
gash marks on his head. And then people were like, Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Maybe that lady didn't kill her baby
Yes, because
the dingo will actually eat a baby.
the 911 call is crazy. Is them driving to the hospital and they're like,
No, to the helicopter. A helicopter met them.
is that what
So,
happened?
yeah, they're like driving, trying to get help because their baby is bleeding. Their toddler is bleeding.
Bleeding out.
And the 911 call is fucking terrifying.
They're like, a dingo. It was a ding. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, that's a crazy story. Go and find that one if you haven't heard
Your
that
children
story,
are
but-
not safe from dingoes. Your children will never be safe from dingoes.
So, to this day, Jordan is still missing. There have been no confirmed sightings of him. There's been no other evidence found besides his belongings by the TikToker. And there's really, I mean, there's a few things that could have happened in this case, right? He could be alive out there somewhere in the midst of his psychosis. He could be living among the homeless population somewhere. He could have wandered back into the desert and he could be out there somewhere.
Yeah, honestly, there's a lot of different possibilities, I think, of where he could have ended up. He might not even be dead out there, honestly. Like,
There's also foul play. I mean, you have to always consider that, right? Like he could have come across somebody that
who was also.
or he could have scared somebody into self-defense. I mean, there's a lot of things that could have
Yeah.
happened
No, you're
that
right.
maybe we wouldn't know the result of. If he did wander back into the desert, exposure and dehydration probably took him a long
Yep.
time ago, but will we ever know unless
We find his
he's
body.
found?
Yeah.
Right. There's also the possibility of suicide. Like the family has said that he had extreme bouts of depression before, and they know he was in the midst of a mental health crisis at the time. So
Yeah.
could he have gone out into the desert to kill himself as well? We just don't know.
I mean, I don't think he would have gone. I mean, he was already out in the desert. I don't think he was out there to kill himself, but that might have been a product of.
No, I think he was just running. I think he was just scared. I think he was just like.
I think that if suicide is what, like, if that is what happened, I think that it happened after his, like, his bout of mania is what brought that on. I don't think
Right.
that was his.
Like a depressive episode after that or something.
If that's the case,
I know the dog is still missing too.
Yeah.
I'm glad they at least found the
if he's alive,
brother's dog.
the dog's alive. If he's dead, the dog's dead.
That's what I think too. Now, Jordan at the time that he went missing was 6'2", about 190 pounds. He was 36 years old, which would make him 38 right now. He has dark brown hair, brown eyes, and he wears glasses or contacts.
Not anymore.
He has one dog with him, which is a brindle pit bull mix, and it's black with brown stripes. He has visible non-color tattoos. He has the Star Wars Rebel symbol on the back of his right hand, a round
Classic.
eagle on the back of his left hand. What's a round eagle? A round eagle? Round, like circular? I'm not sure. An eagle feather attached to a daisy on his left forearm, and a bird on his upper left chest. Something that Jordan's sister wrote to her brother. It has been challenging to know how to say things in a way that can help people realize that a person with mental illness is not only their illness, that the things that have happened because of their illness does not make their life not matter. My brain cannot comprehend how we are where we are now. I may never see you again, but I will be grateful every day of my life. My kids will know you through me, and every new experience I have in my life, I will share with you in my heart. I wish I would have hugged you longer the last time I saw you. I didn't know that it might be the last time. It just reminds me that with every missing person, there are these families out there. There's this trickle of like sorrow and unresolved trauma that follows these cases. So that is the story of Jordan Boone. We're going to head over to Bunker Talk where we're going to talk about this a little more. But before we go, we have some new Patreons that we need to recognize. And we just wanted to thank all of our Patreons. You guys are seriously amazing, and we love all of you so much. So we have Jennifer Theriot. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome to Patreon.
Anna Reed,
Hi, Anna. Welcome.
Jessica McNabb,
Hi, Jessica. Francisca. Hi, Francisca.
Maggie,
Hi, Maggie.
Aaron Van Cleff,
Hi, Aaron. Welcome to Patreon.
Vanessa,
Hi, Vanessa.
Brittany Lundberg,
Lundberg. Hi, Brittany.
whatever, Jonathan Martin,
Hi, Jonathan.
and Wheelia Hart.
Willa Hart. Hi, Willa. Maddie should not be allowed to read names. We also have Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. We have Sarah Gregory. Welcome, Sarah. We have Tatina Blassengame.
Jesse, and Kathy Gruff.
Hi, everyone.
Kathy Gruffy.
There you go. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Patreon. Thank you so much for supporting us. We really, really appreciate you guys. Bye, guys.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You need rugs in this house, Mother.
Why do I need rugs?
The floors are so much easier to maintain when you have something to catch the dust and the debris and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like my floors, like
I feel like rugs just get dirty, though, and then there's like fucking rugs everywhere.
you vacuum the rugs and clean the rugs.
I don't have a vacuum cleaner. So Maddie has ants.
Clean the whole house, and I only found 2 ants.
One ant is too many.
I know. I agree.
So Maddie's very stressed out about her ant problem. She's having a mental breakdown. It's fine.
It's fine. I'm fine. I've just swept him off the floor and swept him off the floor, and now we have 4 cats. We don't have 2 anymore.
Why do you have 4 cats?
Hayden's sister moved in with us, and she has 2 cats.
Oh, shit.
So now there's 4 cats in our apartment. Luckily, everybody gets along pretty well.
Well, that's
we
good.
had them separated for like a week and a half, and then the boys started to, because one of Riley's cats immediately wanted to play with the boys. He's wanted to play with the boys since day one. He's like, please give me them now. The other lady her other cat, she's like,
Leave me alone.
I'm a woman. I've had kids. I'm above you. Please don't look at me. That's her mentality. And then the boys started to just kind of want out of the room when they knew the cats were in the rest of the house. So then we started just letting it happen. And thus far, there's been batting, but there's been like no actual cat fights at all.
Okay, that's good.
All 3 boys hang out together. It's pretty cute. Him and Goose are becoming friends. His name is Hades. He's an orange cat.
Oh, cute.
It's pretty cute. He's really like, he's like a mix between Maverick and Goose. Like he has the attitude of Maverick, but he's like dumb
Playful
and like Goose is. So
we still have Mystic and Smokey trying to be friends with Mystic, and Mystic's like, get the fuck away from me,
don't
you
want
little
you
psychopath.
here.
But he like just hangs out on our back deck, like he thinks he belongs here. And I'm like I opened the door to let Mystic in the other day, and he just came bolting inside, and I was like, hello.
He wants to live here, Mom.
I know.
He doesn't want to live over there. He wants to live here. He says, this is much, much better for me. I like this. I like this cat. I like what's going on here. I will stay here. Thank you.
I think he likes our deck for some reason. Like he just like will like lay out there for a million years. And then I told our neighbor, I was like, by the way, your cat had some catnip. I don't know if he's ever had it before, which he hasn't. But I had it out there for Mystic, and then he's like rolling around in it and trying to play with Mystic. And Mystic is like, get the fuck away from me.
He's like, God, I just got rid of 2 sons. Why do I don't need a fucking
Why do I have another
one?
one? Yeah, it's funny. He, I guess he brought in a baby bunny to their house yesterday, and it wasn't dead though. And he was like, just kind of like playing with it. And she's like, why didn't he kill it? I don't understand. He's just like playing with it. And they're like trying to separate him from the bunny, but it's like his bunny and he's getting mad about it. And then he peed on their bed. I was like,
Oh my god.
we're not taking him. You have to keep him.
Yeah. Well, he has his balls still, which is the biggest mistake.
Well, he has an appointment, but
Good.
they're so far booked out that they're like just waiting for the appointment at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, Smokey thinks he's our cat. He's just chilling on the back deck. And he was on Mystic's bed the other day, like that's on the couch. And Mystic was like sitting on the ground next to it, just like watching him. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing in my space?
But also, Mystic didn't want to interact with him, so he just like let it be. And I was like, all right, this is what we're doing.
I like it.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why
Exactly.
why doesn't it do that?
I don't
Why
know.
does it
That's why I
fucking-
do it, though. It's so annoying.
No, I got it.
Okay.
What the fuck? Why doesn't it work? Why can't I just...
Because it's like an Excel worksheet.
I fucking hate Excel. Who fucking made this thing? Stop. I can do it.
I like that you give me a hard time and then you're like struggling way more than me.
No, I fucking got it. I got it. God damn it, motherfucker. Get fucking capitalized.
Do you
stupid
have
bitch.
it?
Yes.
Do you have it, Madison?
Yes, I do.
You're putting extra spaces in all of them. What are you doing? Stop doing the space at the end.
Well, the return is the only way I can get out of that stupid fucking Y thing where it wants me to choose the capitalization of my fucking Y. Like, Jesus Christ. Obviously, I want a fucking capital Y. Why else would I do that? Why else would I capitalize
Why else?
it?
Get it?
Oh, that's so fucking funny. Jesus Christ.
Madison's very, very agitated right now.
I do not like Excel. Every time in school,
It's
I had to
actually
use Excel.
Pages, but it's basically the same thing as Excel.
That's worse. That's
It's-
way worse.
Is it? So basically, I have like a worksheet so that when we mention our Patreons or when I send them their stickers in the mail, stop. You've gone too far.
Well, now they're already there for the next Patreon.
No, but then it's going to look like we already mentioned the next ones that I type in. Oh my gosh, you made it so much worse.
No, I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about, man.